question is, what is the Orthodox view of heaven and hell? With a heart full of gratitude. Thank you, she says.
Yeah, of course. I think that in English, heaven and hell have been used and misused, I think, in many ways. Because many times in the scriptures it says Hades, and immediately the English translation becomes hell. Well, they didn't say hell. Hell is a place of torment. Kolasis would be the Greek word, for example. And heaven has different connotations too. So we got to be careful what the translation, what the original word, especially in the scriptures, is before we translate it into hell or even into heaven. The Orthodox Church understood always that there is, Christ himself spoke about this, okay? And he explained what that might be. And that's where we need to go, not to things that people make up, but go back to Christ himself. And I think that the first time that he speaks about the afterlife in the sense of a place of difficulty and suffering is when he gives us the parable of Lazarus and the rich man and Lazarus. And he explains how the rich man, who never cared about Lazarus and never cared about anybody else, he was very selfish and always partying and enjoying himself and enjoying the riches that he had and ignoring those who were in need. He died and he went to a place of torment. And he gives us some descriptions which are very physical descriptions. And we have to be very careful not to take everything literally, but to understand that there is physical pain especially if you are in your physical body, which is eventually going to be as we resurrect and are separated. Again, he described this as separated later when he gave us the parable of the Last Judgment. And he said, the ones who did these things, the good things, are going to be invited into the kingdom of God, and the others will be rejected and they will go to a place of torment. So when we speak about heaven and hell, we have to define that, yes, what you can call hell in English or a place of torment is a place of difficulty and definitely torment. What is heaven is a place of joy and a place of the full experience of the presence of God in a way that we cannot comprehend. And in the place of torment is the experience of the love of God, perhaps, as the people reject him. And that brings pain and sorrow. So when people reject God, that will lead them to pain and sorrow, even though the love of God will be poured on them. And those who love God and receive the love of God, which is poured on them, will have joy. So maybe that's a good way to put it in non-physical ways or in human ways that we understand. But even in the scriptures and even the saints, when they try to describe this, they use human words and human descriptions like fire and this and the other thing, because those are the things that give us pain, and that's how we experience difficulty. But think of it in a spiritual way, and perhaps think of the love of God giving joy, but the love to those who love him, and the love of God giving pain to those who hate him and reject him.